Came from a large chiropractic family, and I used to only go when I needed it, right? When I was in my 20s, I worked factory jobs, and I was miserable. I hurt all the time. I thought that was just the way my life was going to be, you know? And I went to chiropractic school, and, you know, of course, you had the students checking each other, right? We all pretty much suck when we're students, right? Because there's no way you can be good checking only 250 spines, you know? That's what our requirements are for graduation. There's no way you're going to be good at 250 spines. But anyways, my spine was so locked up that my staff doctor wanted me to come in. I was coming in every other week. She wanted me to come in every week. I was like, at that time, I was like, oh my God, every week. I call up my uncle, I'm like, oh, I'm getting, you know, that's over adjusting. He's like, over adjusting? He's like, you can't over adjust. It's either there or it's not there. And I'm like, huh, that makes sense. I'm like, okay, fine. And so that was my mentality at one time, that every other week was just it. Once a week, that was too much. And then I listened to Romano and some of these other guys talking about we need lifetime care. And I'm like, all right, well, that makes sense, all right? But I'm going to tell you what, until I started working with Mark, and we started checking each other every single day, twice a day, that's when things changed my life, you know? I'm not just talking about, you know, oh, I feel much better, but it improved my thinking, coordination, attitude, immune system, everything, all right? And I felt good. I mean, that's just a bonus, you know what I'm saying? Who doesn't want to feel good, you know? I have people come in the office that have started care, and then their spouse ends up starting care because they see the differences in their spouse. They're like, you know, he didn't even see the differences. You know, she's like, but you know what? He's nicer. You know, he's not sick. He's not this, that, or the other. But if you ask him those things, he doesn't see those differences. But she did, and that's why she started up care. You know, that happens all the time. I take care of kids for free. You know, kids 17 and under, they don't have jobs. You know what I mean? And why should we wait till they're in their 20s and 30s and beyond with some condition before we start checking their spines? I know I didn't wait for my son until he had problems. I can almost guarantee no chiropractor out there waits until their kids have problems before they start checking their kids. So why not give the gift? Because kids get it. I mean, you don't even have to explain the stuff to them. They just understand it because they're living so close to that principle of organization, that understanding. You know, they live it closer to nature than we are. You know, we've been dumbed down through the education system. But yeah, because think about, and I guess one thing I learned at the last DE was my first DE that I'd ever been to, all right? And one thing I really picked up that really excites me is potential, all right? Possibility. That's what I get excited about. And I really realized it at DE, you know, as brothers, all right? The potential of a group of men in front of you, and you get to share that message of chiropractic, that message of truth. They don't have a choice but to listen to you. That potential. The fraternity has so much potential. Has so much potential. Kids have potential. You know, they start getting their spines checked at early age. What's the likelihood of they continue to get care later on in life? You know? And it's just the potential of what this human race would be like if everyone was doing this on a regular basis. I mean, it's mind-blowing. But you know what? Until we make it affordable, logical, and convenient, that is never going to happen, people. Never going to happen. People talk about, like I said, I devalue the profession by my fees, okay? One, they're inconsistent with how they practice on themselves and their family. When it's the people coming in their office is what's taking care of them and their family. So they should be taking care of the people coming in their office just like they are their own family. And a lot of these same guys that say that we're devaluing it, you know what they're doing in practice? You want to know what they're doing? I'm not even talking about all the mix and crap. I'm talking about they're meeting deductibles and copays. All right? They're paying people to come in their office. And guess what? They're the nice guys. Everyone in town sees them as being the nice guys. Oh, well, you know, I came in, I had insurance. He just took care of it. Because he's a nice guy, right? Wrong. Okay? It's not because he's a nice guy. He wasn't doing it for that person. He was doing it for himself. Why? Because he can take care of people for free and collect their insurance dollars. Right? And it makes him look like a nice guy. But meanwhile, it's devaluing the profession. Who has value for that? I'm going to tell you what. People come in my office, hand me money. They have value for it. You know? They have value for it. I just think that we've lost a lot of our roots in the profession, you know. and I know a lot of people have heard me say this, I'm going to say it, I think it's the insurance that has done it a lot. You know, most of the profession works for the insurance companies. It's sad, but it's true, okay? And I hear a lot of that too, and some people say, oh, well, you're kicking a dead horse by every time you say that. But you know what? I'm going to keep saying it until people start listening, because it's true. You know, it's true. Because you look at the numbers of people that have been seeing chiropractors, it hasn't changed, man. It hasn't changed. The percentage is the same. All right? But I'm going to tell you what, if you told everyone the truth of chiropractic coming in your office, you know what kind of a change it would be? If we were telling the chiropractic truth for the last 20 years instead of the insurance truth, where would we be today? Would you say that half the population, I would say at least half the population be going to chiropractors now. But you know what? I'd say that was conservatism. I'd say we'd be seeing at least 80% of the population. Why? Because this stuff just makes sense. It just makes sense. I mean, life being expressed through the body is an amazing thing, and you don't know what's going to do. And it may not do anything. You may not see any results. But you know what? It's a better expression of life either way. I don't know. Sorry, I just get on a tangent and I just go with stuff. You know, I just feel what I need to say and I just say it. And like I said, I don't really have any agenda or anything. But I'm going to tell you what, it's been an honor working with Mark. It was an honor working with Scott as well. It was some good times, man, when we were all in the offices together. Some really good times. We developed a bond. We developed chiropractic. Mark and I's vision is to develop a community of chiropractic. You know, when people, they just come into the office and they'll understand what chiropractic is. Because I'll tell you, like he said, I would rather know that the people enforcing the laws, making the laws, teaching our kids and everything, driving down the road, they're not all hopped up on drugs or doing anything else. And it's not only that, they're just working at their best. Because I'll tell you what, I'm kind of selfish as a chiropractor because I really do it for my own means. Meaning that I would rather be around unsubluxated people than subluxated people any single day. You know? I just would. And that's what I would love, to know that everyone was unsubluxated in my community, because it would just be an awesome place. Right. And then think about where that would go. That would go to the next community. It would spread like a wildfire. Because this truth, when it gets out there, people, it ain't going to be stopped. Because we have it. I don't even know why we're going on to the other realm and thinking that we need to expand the profession. That's ridiculous. You cannot get any bigger than every man, child, and woman on this planet needs chiropractic care. There's no bigger vision than that. I mean, that's just the way I look at it. And it's up to us. You know, I live by the words, be the change that you want to see in the world. Because you know what? No one else is doing it. If you're not doing it, you can't rely on everyone else. I would love for other people to do it. There's a reason Reggie spoke for as long as he did. People say, oh, well, he made all of his millions and stuff off of speaking. Well, you know what? He did it because he needed to. It was needed. He felt that it was needed. And that's what he felt that his contribution to the profession was, to bring that truth, the simplicity, because we've all heard Reggie. It all makes sense. But, you know, Mark was talking about the FSCO. I was in the school when the FSCO was really big and thriving. It kind of went downhill when the straights actually left the straight organization. Imagine that, right? And at that time, there wasn't a bridge. I think that a lot of us are creating that bridge with the fee systems. You know, like the membership practices and the monthly fee systems and things like that. I think they're creating the bridge because the philosophy has always made sense, but there hasn't been a vehicle that's kept the philosophy and the practice, you know, to keep them together. And I think the fee systems are coming congruent with the philosophy. And I think when this next straight movement comes, I don't think we're going to be just a blip on the map anymore. We're going to be here, and we ain't going away. Because we're on fire now, and you can't stop fire. So, any questions or anything? I don't know. I guess that's just the way to wrap it up, because it's coming, people. And if you all want to know how to do it, it's out there. You just have to look. And we're here to help you. These guys up here in the front row, they're doing it, you know. And if you all want to know how to do it, we're here. I mean, That's all I can say.